Okay, so I'm going to be talking about fetal alcohol syndrome, and this is a condition in a child that results from alcohol exposure during the mother's pregnancy. This causes brain damage and growth problems. The symptoms vary from child to child, but the defects as a whole are not reversible, meaning that the child will have these symptoms all throughout their adult life as well. Physical characteristics are deformities of joints, limbs, and fingers, vision difficulties and hearing problems, heart defects, and problems with kidneys and bones. Brain and central nervous system problems. This could be like poor coordination or balance, poor memory, difficulty identifying consequences of choices, difficulty with reasoning and problem solving, and rapidly changing moods. And then with this also comes social and behavioral issues, and this can be like poor concept of time, trouble getting along with others at school, and problems staying on task. And 3 strategies that I came up with, one of them could be you can make a schedule for them. As a teacher, you can make a schedule for the child. Since they do have poor concept of time, this can help them with being able to know like where they're going to be throughout the school day, at what times. That way they can prepare for it. Since they also have rapidly changing moods, the change can maybe, cause them to have an outburst. So letting them know ahead of time what they're going to be doing when, I think could help them. And then another one, I said, take a few minutes out of every day to play a card memory game. I remember I used to have one when I was younger, and you had to flip all the cards over, and you had to pick the picture and match it up. And if you didn't get the correct match at first, then you had to flip the cards back over, and then you'd have to keep on trying to find the match to the card that you're looking for. And so I think maybe taking time out of the day to go over that, since they do have poor memory, you could do this easily with them. Just take a few minutes out of the day and do that with them. And then another one, I said give them breaks every now and then whenever they're doing their schoolwork, so that they can stay on task. Like if you're doing something with them and you can tell they're kind of getting antsy, they're not paying attention as well as they were at the beginning, give them a water break, let them get up, move around a minute, and then pull them back in, and then let them know like, hey, if you need another break, let me know. And then as a teacher, you should be able to tell like when your student is not focusing anymore. So you can help them out by letting them get a drink of water, walking around a little bit, do jumping jacks, whatever, just to get like the ants out of their pants and get them to maybe sit back down and keep going at it. Okay, so prompting. This is a cue or a hint meant to encourage a child to perform a desired task. So why would you use prompting? What's the point in this? This is a good tool for teaching. The goal of prompting is to get the child to do a certain task, but you're wanting to get away from prompting. Like you're wanting the child to do it, but after prompting them so long, you want them to not have to need a prompt to be able to do a desired task. So there are, I guess, steps you could call it whenever you're prompting. So for the first one, we'll just say like we're going to have the child pick up a pencil to start writing. For the first step would be gestural, and this would be the teacher prompts the student to do the task. So you'd be like, hey, pick the pencil up. And then if they don't do it, then you use verbal, and you'd be like, Matthew, pick up the pencil and start working. If the student didn't do it then you could do a visual, and you can show a picture, you can show a video, just how to get the task done, how to pick up the pencil, and how to start working. The next step, if the child is not performing the task, would be to model it. So the teacher could walk over and physically pick up the pencil and show the student how to start their homework or their work. And then if the student still isn't doing it, then you could use physical, which is the last step. And this is where the teacher physically goes over there, picks up the child's arm, uses their hand to pick up the pencil, and then shows them how to write. Okay, so 2 successful strategies for teaching Common Core state standards. The first one that I've used is using UDL. This is Universal Design for Learning. This is a set of principles for curriculum development that gives all students an equal opportunity to learn. And there are 3 parts to this, and the first one is representation. This is adaptation for materials. This is making the text bigger, using pictures, reading aloud to the student, things like that. The second part is expression. This is how the students show their learning. This is how they can show what they've learned. They can show what they know. Basically, just let them be a show off. Let them do their thing. Then the third part of this is engagement. This is how students participate in the activity. This is the why of the learning. I think UDL is very important, and I think that it is easy, so easy. If you're a very effective teacher, I think it is easy to use UDL in the classroom because you know that each student deserves every opportunity that they can get to learn and to show what they learn. And I think that it's a good way to make sure that all students are involved. The second strategy that I chose is using assistive technology. This promotes student responses and it helps make materials more accessible to students who need it. It can be high-tech stuff like iPads or communication devices, but it can also be things as simple as using picture symbols, pencil grips, photos, things like that. As teachers, we should know what our kids need. So to identify what the assistive technology it is that our students need, we need to see what kind of task that is that they're trying to perform. Then we will see how they are performing it, and then we will figure out from there what assistive technology it is we can get to the student to make the task easier. Doing this can make an entire world of a difference. Students will want to participate in your class more, and then the quality of their work will also be better than what it is. And I think it's also very important because students' confidence will go sky high if they're able to do something that they were not once able to do.